In the heart of ancient Phrygia, a prosperous kingdom flourished under the rule of King Midas. Midas was a man renowned for his wealth and power, yet beneath the grandeur of his golden palace lay a deeper, insatiable desire for more gold. Despite his immense fortune, no amount of wealth could satisfy his boundless greed. His vaults overflowed with riches, yet he dreamed of turning everything he touched into gleaming precious gold. One fateful day, as Midas wandered through his lavish rose gardens, he encountered an extraordinary sight: the half-man, half-goat figure of Silenus, a satyr, known as a companion to the god Dionysus. Silenus, having indulged in too much wine and celebration, had strayed from Dionysus's party and found himself passed out in the king's garden. Recognizing the divine nature of the creature, Midas did not cast him out. Instead, he offered Silenus his hospitality, treating him as an honored guest in his palace. For 10 days, Midas hosted Silenus, feeding him with the finest foods and wines, enjoying the satyr's endless stories of the gods, nature, and the mysteries of the world. Silenus, pleased with the king's kindness, was escorted back to Dionysus's court by Midas himself. When Dionysus learned of Midas's generosity toward his old friend, he was overjoyed and, as a reward, granted the king a wish. "Name any boon, Midas," said the god, "and it shall be yours." Without hesitation, Midas, with his ever-growing greed, replied, "I wish that everything I touch turns to gold." Dionysus, though knowing the dangers of such a gift, granted Midas his wish. "As you desire, Midas. From this moment all that you touch will become gold." At first, Midas was overjoyed. He immediately began testing his new power. As he reached for the roses in his garden, they transformed into solid gold, their petals losing their fragrance but shimmering brilliantly in the sunlight. Elated, Midas touched trees, stones, and furniture in his palace, watching them all turn into gold. His wealth seemed limitless now, and he believed himself the richest man to ever live. But his joy was short-lived. When he sat down for a feast, he discovered the horrifying reality of his wish. As he picked up a piece of bread, it turned into gold, hard and inedible. His wine turned to liquid gold, thick and undrinkable. Starving and parched, Midas realized that even the simplest pleasures of life, food and drink, were now beyond his reach. Desperate, he called for his daughter, who came running to comfort her distraught father. In his despair, Midas reached out to embrace her, forgetting the curse. The moment his hand touched her, she too was transformed, her skin becoming cold, lifeless gold. In an instant, his beloved daughter had become a golden statue, motionless and frozen forever. Overwhelmed by guilt and sorrow, Midas's joy turned to horror. The riches he had so long desired had now robbed him of everything he held dear. In a state of panic, he prayed to Dionysus, begging the god to take back his gift. "Dionysus, please," Midas cried. "I have learned my lesson. This power is a curse, not a blessing. Take it from me before I lose everything." Dionysus, who had anticipated Midas's regret, took pity on the king. "Midas," he said, "you have learned the folly of greed. Go to the river Pactolus and wash your hands in its waters. There the golden touch will be cleansed from you." Midas wasted no time and rushed to the river. As he submerged his hands in the flowing waters, he watched the golden curse wash away. and the sands at the riverbed glistened with the gold that left his fingers. The golden touch was gone. Returning to his palace, Midas found his daughter restored to life, her golden form now flesh once more. Tears of relief flowed down his face as he embraced her, finally understanding the true cost of his desire. Having learned a bitter lesson, Midas no longer sought after wealth and riches. He became a wiser, humbler ruler, renouncing his greed and living a simple life. His newfound wisdom spread across his kingdom, and he taught his people the dangers of excess and the importance of contentment. Though he had once craved gold above all else, Midas now found value in the things that could not be bought: family, friendship, and the simple joys of life. The tale of his golden touch became a warning to all who heard it, a reminder that unchecked greed could lead to ruin. The story of King Midas has endured for centuries, a myth that illustrates the perils of greed and the consequences of unchecked desire. His wish for limitless wealth led him down a path of destruction, showing that even the most powerful blessings can turn into curses when driven by selfish ambition. In time, the river Pactolus, where Midas washed away his curse, became famous for its golden sands. Ancient travellers spoke of the river's gleaming banks, and it was said that the wealth of the Lydian kingdom, whose land the river flowed through, owed its riches to the gold left behind by King Midas. But more than just the river's wealth, the story of Midas left behind a lesson that would echo through history. True richness is found not in gold, but in the love and connections we share with those around us. The myth of King Midas is as relevant today as it was in ancient times. In a world that often places value on material wealth, Midas's story reminds us of the dangers of prioritizing riches over the things that truly matter. His golden touch, once seen as the ultimate gift, became his greatest curse. Through the ages, the name Midas has become synonymous with greed and the blind pursuit of wealth, but his transformation from a gold-hungry king to a wise ruler serves as a timeless reminder of the importance of balance, humility, and gratitude. In the end, the tale of King Midas is a story about the human condition, about our desires, our flaws, and our capacity for change. It teaches us that true wealth lies not in what we possess, but in what we appreciate. And so King Midas learned the greatest lesson of all, that true wealth is not found in gold, but in the simple joys of life. His tale reminds us of the dangers of unchecked greed and the power of redemption. If this story has stirred your imagination, give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and let your dreams be filled with wonder. For now, sleep well and good night.